To all of you who think this film is a reboot, die, you fuckers, die! Are you all dead? Good. It is not a fucking reboot. It is a fucking sequel to the 1987 original and its 1990 sequel, and also kind of ties in with the 2010 third film. Probably, it's not really explicitly stated, but it's a sequel to the first two, okay? It's a fucking sequel, not a fucking reboot. Got that? Good. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of The Predator, the fourth film in the Predator franchise, and the latest one as it has now just been released in the UK. Yay! Now I watched the first two back in May for the first time. I'm going to rewatch them later this month and do reviews on them on my Nicholas Payne Retro channel, which was formerly Nick Payne Extra. I haven't seen the third one yet. When I do, I'll review that as well, and I'll do a 4-film ranking. But yeah, I really liked the first two, especially the second one. I thought that was amazing. The first one was also pretty amazing as well. So how does the fourth film, The Predator, stand up? It's still very good, but I don't think it's as good as the first two. Jury's out on the third one at the moment. We'll see about that. This film sees a soldier/assassin kind of in the middle of an alien crash landing on a mission, and so he is captured by some guys who are investigating the alien things, and they're trying to deem him as mad. So he's put on a bus with some lunatic soldiers. Meanwhile, he has sent some alien equipment to his son to keep them as evidence. And the government people have enlisted a professor of biology to help them with their case. They've brought the scientist, the professor in, but then as they've captured the Predator, but then the Predator awakens and escapes, killing quite a lot of people, including who is supposed to be the son of the government agent in the second film that gets killed off. Whoops. And he also dies as well. Double whoops. But because the professor is unarmed in the moment when the Predator looks like he's going to kill her, because she's unarmed, it doesn't. So, implying the same thing as, not implying, doing the same thing as they did in the first film, where it doesn't kill someone if they're unarmed. So, then the Predator escapes, and then some people try to kill the professor because she's got a sample of its blood, I think, or liquid. It's a liquid, or saliva or something. But she's got a sample of something. So they try to get rid of her as well. And she joins the loonies, and they escape, and they try to find I can't remember his name, but it's the main character's son. He's got all the tech, and so they'd have to try and find him and protect him from the predators. And also the government the agency are coming looking for it as well. So yeah, that's the basic plot of The Predator. Okay, with this one, we get to see a bit more. We get to see a similar sense to the first film in the terms of there's a ragtag bunch of soldiers. In this case, kind of considered loony. In this case, plus a university scientist. And they're basically having to hunt down the predator. Well, I say hunt down, try and kill the predator. I should say predators, rather, because there's two. There's the normal version we see in the other films, and then there's this larger, bigger one who proves to be an even more formidable foe. Plus, there's also, like in the second film, a kind of government agency who've been monitoring and noticing predator arrivals on Earth. They're also on the hunt for some equipment that the predator has lost that's been sent to the main character's son to keep safe, and the predators are looking for that, and so is the agency. And the same goes for the ship. They want the boy to, because the boy's been playing with the technology, they want him to find the spaceship for them. Yeah, so the plot is quite simple in that regard. So, performance-wise, I think they do all a great job, especially Boyd Holbrook as the main character. I can't remember his name, but he does a good job, as does Olivia Munn as the scientist, who, by the way, it's great to see her getting in on the action quite a bit, especially towards the end when she gets, say, a couple of seconds fighting the predator hands-on herself. So she does a really good job. And the boy is also a very good character, and also use his on the spectrum thing as a way to help him understand the predator and their technology. And yeah, makes quite a lot of sense. There's also the ragtag gang, they don't get killed throughout the movie, nor at the start. You get to know them a bit before they start dying in the final act, and some of them are quite tragic, and I don't think they're really especially well developed, but then again I don't think the first film especially developed all of their characters, so same for the second really, so I think there was a slight more development with those. And yeah, it's sad to see them go out. There was one moment where two of them had been kind of hit. One of them had a piece of tree going through his body, like with Logan in Logan, and another had been shot by the predator, and they were in pain, so they decided to put each other out of their misery and kind of shot each other from distances. So they were pretty much putting down each other, but respectively. There's also a really great moment where one of them sacrifices himself in order to bring down the predator ship. And also, there's a bit early on where one of the other soldiers has had has some of the blood and intestines coming out of a chopped off body. By the way, that one had a nice little nod to the previous, to the first film, and maybe the second too, where the body was strung up and skinned. I don't think it was as horrid, as gruesome as in the first film, but it was definitely nasty enough. And then his body got cut in half, and the blood was dripping down onto a knocked out predator. And it looked very much like his intestines would come out. It looked very much like that. I almost wish it had. And yeah, and the action is really good as well. I don't think it's a action heavy movie, but there's quite a lot of it. I think it's mostly action and predator killing, but I don't think the movie's reliant on that. The government agencies seem to be getting in the way a lot. I think they had a more increased role than the ones in the second film have, but at points they seem to be as much of a villains as the other predators. The predators themselves, they seem to be pretty villainous in some cases. And it's actually pretty satisfying when they've all been killed, even though you can't really tell that well if they're all dead. I think they were killed, so it's pretty satisfying that they're gone. And also, the fight between the two predators was interesting. Yeah, and the big one proves to be a formidable foe, as I mentioned, after a short while of fighting. And the predator dogs, they were a nice little addition, especially the one that was pretty much Munn's character's pet in a few scenes. They killed one of the dogs. The other one basically became Olivia Munn's character's pet for a bit, and then I think it dies trying to bring down the second predator, the big one. Yeah, and at the end, main character who gets put in charge, and his son's now helping at a facility, and they're opening what the first predator had sent to humans, because he was trying to send some equipment to humans to save them from what would be a predator takeover in the couple of generations' time. I think the predators would come in and take over the planet as it would become more inhabitable for they're taking human features and then come to the planet to live there. So they open up the thing, and they mention, the translator says that it's a predator killer. I actually thought, in that scene, I actually got about 90% sure that it was going to be an alien, a xenomorph to be precise, as they mentioned it's a predator killer. However, 10% of me thought, no, they probably won't be, it's probably not. It's very unlikely. But I was like, but is it going to be? It's not. It's some sort of human, it's some predator armour, but adaptable to humans. So I think we're going to be seeing that in a future film if there's going to be a sequel to this. Though I thought this was going to be pretty much a standalone instalment of the series, but there might be a follow-up. You never know. Or it could be useful for future films if they decide to use it. So overall, The Predator is a good instalment of the series, but I don't think it's an amazing instalment. It's quite a lot of time with the government agency being dicks instead of being helpful, and it does take its time at some points to actually get places in its story. So, but most of the good stuff is still there. You still got predators killing humans and each other, in some cases, and you get humans killing predators and fighting them and trying to stay alive, and even having a ragtag team that's mostly pretty likeable. No, all of them were likeable, as were the ones in the first film. And like I say, it's great to see Olivia Munn's character getting in on the action as well. Girl power and all that. Yeah, all well and good. So, I'm going to give The Predator a 8 out of 10. I don't think it's perfect. I don't particularly love it like I did with Predator 2. I don't even think it's on the same level as the first one, which I thought was also a really great film. But it's still a great film in its own right, and I think it probably will be better than the third film. I think the third film will probably be the weakest of the series, excluding the crossovers with the Alien films. I kind of did a 10-film ranking of the Alien and Predator films minus Predators and the new film as part of the Alien vs. Requiem Blu-ray Steelbook review. With this one, I'd probably put this one above the AVPs and the Alien prequels, but below the first Alien, or around the same area. Yeah, so it's about, it'd be 7th out of 11 films, maybe still be 7th out of 12, depending on what I think on Predators. For my expectations on that one would be, it's not as good as the first 3 Predator films or the original 4 Alien films, but it'd be better than the AVPs and possibly both Alien prequels, certainly more than Prometheus. Whether it'd be better than Covenant is to be seen. So, yeah, I think I did actually put Requiem above Covenant, but I might change that in the future. We'll see how it goes. But definitely, I think Requiem's better than Prometheus and the first AVP. But I think it might put it above Covenant on the ranking, but that might change on a re-ranking. So anyway, that's The Predator. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne YouTube channel. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nick. Fuck. Help with them fuck. I'm sorry, there's some noise outside. Just trying to ignore it. I can't ignore it. Oh, get on with it. Hang on, I'll be a moment. Anyway, sorry about that. So, okay, so we are looking at another good. Oh, shut up! And then there's this. So it's slightly. No, never mind.